Now, there is another organization that advertises on BillO'Reilly.com, and you may have heard about it. It's Parents Defending Education. Parents Defending Education. DefendingEd.org. DefendingEd, one word.org. And joining us now is the leader of that group, Nicole Neily, and she's coming up from Arlington, Virginia. So, Nicole, first of all, what is the goal of your group?
Sure. So over the past year during lockdown, so many parents were so disenfranchised and demoralized about their schools not caring about them. They didn't want their schools open. And then suddenly, when classrooms were in people's living rooms, parents were horrified about what their children were actually learning, what their assignments were, their lectures. And so parents started raising the alarm about this. And I think after George Floyd, a lot of this kicked into overdrive. We saw schools putting out statements flagellating themselves for being systemically racist. And a lot of schools took that as an opportunity to really shove diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives down families' throats, often under the cover of darkness or without a lot of buy-in from the community. And people are really justifiably upset. And so what we wanted to do with Parents Defending Education was to let parents know first, what are your rights? You have different rights when you're at a private school versus a public school. But when you know what your rights are, then you know when the lines have been crossed. Beyond that, we want to tell people you're not alone. There are people around the country who have picked up their pitchforks and their torches and have said, how dare you do this to my child with my tax dollars? There are hundreds of parent groups across the country that have sprung up just in the past year specifically to deal with political indoctrination. And then finally, we want to give people tools to get engaged. As Dick Armey used to say, politics goes to he who shows up. We have to get off Facebook and get off Twitter and get into those school board meetings, run for office, run for the PTA, send letters to the editor, file lawsuits, file Freedom of Information Act requests because local media has absolutely fallen down to the job of holding our schools accountable. But we have to take back our schools.
Okay. So you have two urchins, right? 6 and 7 years old. They're just getting into the public school. You have them in public school?
One of us is in private school, and we're actually homeschooling the other one this year. But
Okay.
We're keeping an eye on the schools near us.
All right. So you obviously are going to have another 10, 15 years of these kids going through a system that is under siege from the far left. We don't see this on the far right. Do you see anything on the far right that's intruding on your kids' ability to get a fair education? Do you see anything there?
I have not seen anything coming from the right, but we're seeing attacks from all over. And this is coordinated and it's been laid for many, many years.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt what's happening. It's indoctrination, and it's actually worked at the university level. We have another story on that in a moment that's just amazing. So it's defendinged.org, and you basically are setting yourself up as a central organization for people who are disenchanted with their local school system, and you're going to direct them in how to combat this. Do I have that correct?
Yes, we want to give people the tools and the encouragement to get involved.
Okay, good. Now, just to the west of you in Loudoun County, Virginia, there's a big controversy about critical race theory, which is essentially white people are bad. I mean, if you really want to strip away all the BS, that's what it is. And there's a war there between traditional parents and left-wing progressive parents. Are you following that, and what's your assessment of it?
We are following it very closely. It's absolutely fascinating to watch just the progression of how this has infiltrated their school, and then to watch the school board gaslight parents, say with a straight face, we're not teaching critical race theory, when there are actual copies of contracts that have been achieved or that have been obtained through public records requests showing critical race theory training going on. And so the fact that parents have started to rise up and push back is now being painted as a right-wing AstroTurf campaign.
Oh, of course. Now, has the Washington Post reported on your group or done anything on you?
Of course they have, and of course we're very, very evil because we care about our children.
Did they actually call you evil, the Washington Post? Did they have to go after you?
Not yet, no. We have had the Boston Globe, the Columbus Post-Dispatch, kind of all the traditional papers. And so, it just shows they're not out there pounding the pavement doing the reporting. We filed a Freedom of Information Act request in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and we found out that they have been they've been separating students on the basis of race. They have affinity groups where white children are not allowed to attend.
Wellesley, one of the most progressive far left school districts in the country. All right, so This is the key to keeping American tradition intact. The folks, not me, not Biden, not Trump, not any politician. When the folks rise up, and this is so wrong, what's happening, and I think everybody, any fair-minded person knows how wrong it is. So I applaud you. We're glad to be in business with you on BillO'Reilly.com. I want you to keep me posted on any egregious school districts like you just pointed out in Wellesley, which are lying to the folks and then doing stuff behind the scenes that people might not know about. So if you do that, we'll have you on as much as we can because I do believe that in your cause, and I think this is the only way we're going to keep America sane. So thank you, Nicole. We appreciate you coming on today. Fellow Americans, I am concerned about the U.S. dollar. Huge debt, as you know. Will it stay as the world's reserve currency? That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company I recommend, and have for years, is American Hartford Gold. I trust them. I've personally done business with them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. And they make it very easy. So call them right now. Make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold shot up more than 40%. Silver, more than 60%. So don't wait. Call them now. 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.